St. Paul Saints starting pitcher Eddie Medina. Eddie, last night your other starting pitcher for the Saints, Chris Nunn, had pitched 8 innings and had 6 strikeouts with no earned runs. What did you learn from him, his performance last night going into tonight's game?
He was outstanding last night, to say at first, but he was just really aggressive. You know, he came out from pitch 1 to pitch 105, I believe, and he was just competing. You know, the playoffs, it's a different atmosphere. It's everything gets reset. No matter how well or poorly you've performed, it all starts over, and it's just literally one game at a time. And, you know, that's how he pitched. He pitched one pitch at a time. He tried to win each and every pitch, and he pretty much did that for about 8 innings. So that was nice, fun to watch.
After getting a chance to watch Game 1 and coming into Game 2 of this playoff series, you learned probably some of Gary's tendencies. Who do you think could pose as the biggest challenge for you tonight?
Yeah, I mean, Gary 1 through 9 is a great lineup, and what makes them tough is they're very good at making adjustments. You know, how you attack them in the beginning of the game, they'll change their approach and, you know, try to pretty much be either more aggressive or more patient, but they do a good job adjusting to what we're trying to do defensively. And to answer your question, I'd probably be the same answer for all of us pitchers. I mean, I would say Tillman Pugh for Gary is probably the biggest threat. You know, he's the guy that could change the game one swing. You know, he could hit the ball out to left, out to right. And with most power hitters, you know, they'll typically have a few holes in their swings. And, you know, he's a guy that's pretty fundamentally sound. He's got a good swing. He could hit the breaking ball. So he's a competitor. He's a tough out, and I look forward to facing him.
When you're going against a guy like Pugh, what is your strategy when you're deciding what ball you're going to throw at him, fastball, curveball? What is your go-to to strike him out?
I would say my go-to personally would be the cutter, but you know, I got one thing on my side that he doesn't, and that's Justin O'Connor behind the dish. And I mean, that dude makes everybody better as soon as he just, you know, gets down in that catcher squat. And I mean, he really understands the game. He really understands swings, and you know, he does a lot more than just throw runners out for us, even though that's what it seems like he does, and hit homers, of course. But yeah, he's a big advantage, and you know, I trust him. And if he wants to go hard in or soft away, you know, I'm gonna go with him.
Speaking of O'Connor, he was awarded Defensive Player of the Year last night. How great has it been to play with a guy like that?
Oh, man. I mean, he's a high-profile guy, first-round draft pick. And, you know, you get to meet him, and you would know nothing about him. You know, he's as humble as they come, a hard worker, gets after it each and every day. What it's like to play with him, like I said, he makes everybody better. It's the best, you know, number-wise I've ever had in my career as far as the full season, and you know, he's a big part of that. And I've had great catchers in the past, but Justin O'Connor, he's on a different level. So you know, we're all hoping he, you know, ends up where he deserves to be, and that's in the big leagues where he was about to be soon. So we'll see if everything lines up and get him back up there.
Now, this is Game 2, but it's a 5-game series, and it's the last one you will have here in St. Paul. How important is it to take home this one before you hit the road?
Yeah, it's huge. I mean, you know, we were talking about how big Game 1 was until Game 1 was over, and then it became Game 2. But being the last possible game we play at home, it's very, very important, because if we can win tonight, that puts Gary's backs up against the wall. And, you know, to go to Gary is a tough place to win, but you know, having to win 1 out of 3 as opposed to 2 out of 3 is, you know, the difference between winning and losing that series and you know, essentially the division title. So huge. It's everything. We got to win tonight.
Thanks, Eddie.
No problem. Bye.